Faraway friends, welcome. You have found yourself once more at the Port of Dark in the Mists. Curse of Strahd edition.
Strahd!
Thank you so much for joining us. And we always want to give a shout out to our sister stream, Constructed Chaos, walking this path right alongside. They started first.
Constructed Chaos, Dan.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's it. So Alex, Morgan, rest of the Chaos crew, thank you so much.
Shout out to the Dark Zebo.
Oh, shout out to the Dark Zebo. So yes, and now, which now resides in a chicken coop. Okay, now we're really getting some deep cuts, or beside the chicken coop. So, with that said, we also want to give a shout out to our Briarwick Candle person, Miss Kate Glass, who created this. The signature scent of the campaign is Seduction, and it is going to be gracing us there. Thank you, my lovely model, Justin. Thank you.
His name is Vanna.
The price is right over here.
Van
Durgan.
Yeah.
No, Vanna.
Van Durgan. That's good, Melissa. And all right, we do have a little journal entry, which will be moi. But first, let's get that candle lit.
As I realize I don't know where the lighter is. There we go.
No, you got it. You had it in hand.
All right.
She needs the lighter. Her cantrip is...
That's true. Just got a little flame.
This thing is so rude to me sometimes. Did it work? It worked.
It worked. You got it.
Just really torched that bad boy.
This is from the perspective. You know what? Let's just do a quick recap because we don't know how long it's been when this airs for our faraway friends. So I want to say the Fellowship, but you guys do not have a name yet. So
group of
the party, the survivors.
The survivors.
This is too much projects on board. The survivors have made their way from the village of Barovia. You have had various trials and tribulations. You had a little set to with a nasty drug peddling pie woman who Artexia may or may not have singed. You helped a struggling priest, the struggling priest there, Father Donovich. You destroyed his vampirized son and actually managed to give him some measure of peace. And there's now
a new son.
And there's now an orphan, effectively an orphan boy that you saved from the pie woman and remanded into the custody of the priest. So you've made your way out. You had some other various trials and tribulations. However, at the crossroads of the gallows, you took a little trail, and you have arrived at the Zur Falls encampment for the Vistani. You shared a meal with them, some storytelling.
Yeah.
Farron.
Yeah.
You
made some friends.
That's all I shared.
You made some friends. One of them tried to be a little bit more friendly, perhaps, than Farron was interested in at the moment. And so on. And so finally, you have now just heard a sharp voice, would seem to be emanating from a woman of no uncertain opinion inside of the largest tent. And you are soon going to be in the presence of Madame Ava, the Vistani Oracle. So that's just a quick, kind of dirty recap off the top of my head.
We've been looking for her.
You have been, it's true. And this today is from Finny's perspective.
Little Finny journal.
Finny journals.
A Finny journal. It's on the shorter side.
Gonna tell us about how he's been smelling people.
Is that a short joke?
So comfortable.
Perhaps. Most bigs think halflings are cute. They think we like food and drink and friends. And don't get me wrong, we do. But most halflings also like consistency and safety and sameness. I hate it. Finny, stop being so loud. Finny, stop fidgeting. Finny, stop asking so many questions. Finny, you're too much. I love traveling with Gira, because there aren't many rules. Now that we're in this foggy mess of a place, they're even less. And during the fighting, when everyone else is screaming and worried and bleeding, then there aren't any rules. No rules at all.
my goodness.
I like this side of Finny.
Yeah.
Mischievous.
Little chaos monkey.
Yeah, literally.
He might be a little more hectic than I thought he was.
All right. You come into this, I was going to say tent, but the correct word is abode. And you know that this woman brings her home wherever she is. That's where her center also resides. Who's leading? Who's in first?
I don't know where we all are, but
Yeah, where are we at again?
Gira's not afraid to go in.
yeah.
Okay, so Gira first.
Probably
Okay.
the most at home being among a bunch of nomads.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, the camp is pretty compact, so it's not going to take, anybody any time. You steal a march and you get in there first.
Is it just our party going in, or like all the Vistani?
They seem to have no interest in going in. A couple of them linger by the entranceway, presumably in case there's trouble. Maybe not. Perhaps for their own nefarious purposes, but that's it. And the rest of them, all of them turn and kind of acknowledge that this is going on. They watch you go in, and then most of them, they'll go back to their drinking or their, almost use a different word, they're carousing. So, Gira, you walk in, which means despite the minor Donnybrook you had with Ismark, he clanks in pretty close after you, and then I assume the rest of you filter in. So Gira, I'm going to tell this largely from your perspective then at first.
Okay.
You walk in, you see pillows, throw rugs, bric-a-brac, doodads dangling. You see various herbs, spices, some everyday like crockery, and there's this juxtaposed with what looks like potions, amulets, scrolls. It's a very odd sort of mishmash of the quotidian and the arcane.
Looks like a shaman's tent.
Yeah. A lot.
From her perspective.
Yeah, probably you are probably the only character who would think that, but you actually feel even one more notch at home. The rest of you, as you walk in, it looks like chaos in a box in here, with crap just everywhere, and compared to the well-ordered quarters of any sort of will worker in High Terra, any sort of mage in High Terra, this seems bizarre. Or even like Artexia, even like on the rare occasions where you would meet with fellow druids out in the wilds, they at least had some sort of rhythm to what they were carrying, or rhythm to their havens. This just seems like everything all at once.
I'm gonna shoot a look at Morgathi just to be like, don't say anything, because he's always commenting on the state of such things.
And he was looking over and kind of poking at some eyeball in a jar, and and then meanwhile, of course, Finny is already
Looking at it.
and his face in a larger jar is expanding as he gets closer to it.
Like a funhouse mirror
And
situation.
then, yeah.
Can I take a glance at the scrolls and see if any of them like stick out to me?
Sure. Make a. Are you looking at it as a magic user? Or are you looking at it as as like a collector or something?
Magic user.
Like as a user of magic. Okay.
Yes, because immediately it strikes me as this is a girl who has too much knowledge. She doesn't even know how to organize it. That's what I see.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Like maybe she won't notice if I take something.
Lordy.
Alright.
Sure, they're keeping an eye on Finny for that.
Again, and immediately steal it.
11 plus 2, so 14. Or 13.
13.
My math.
There are a number of interesting items. One thing that catches your eye. Hold on, be careful. With these two groups, I think y'all found. Yeah, you did. Okay. Do you remember the really nice scrolls that had like the gold lettering in them that you found in the library. Yeah, in the hidden room in the library. There's one scroll like that in there that's just kind of jammed in a pot with a bunch of other ones.
Is it, where in the room is it? You said it's like a little...
This is one of the larger tents. I'll say that the entire tent is maybe the size of the studio, which doesn't really help our faraway friends. But like, I don't know, it's maybe like, like 20 by 15 or something like that. It's pretty big.
It's on the other side of the room? Or like in between her and I?
Yeah, it's in between, off to the left, and kind of jammed up under herbs and,
Okay.
various crud like that.
Okay.
All right. So, this older, kind of weirdly bedizened woman with these baubles that are flashing at odd angles as the light refracts off of them, what little light there is. And yet, the few candles that are placed around here always seem to favor her as she moves.
Be nice.
And the longer that you look at her, the more difficult it becomes to ascertain exactly how old she is. Sometimes she seems mature, but no more than that. Like she could be a mother of maybe teenage children. And then other times, she looks almost like a venerable crone. And as she moves and shifts, and you're just catching glimpses of her hair under her scarf, and at moments you see it, this beautiful raven black, and then at other moments it looks white as the proverbial snow. And it just depends on the moment and the angle. Who here, and this is basically up to y'all, who here has been in the presence of her wisdom, who is the demigoddess and of High Terra and the head of the Elven Nation, the immortal head of the Elven Nation?
I think
You probably
have been. Maybe not like a solo audience.
Right, but you've been like in her court before.
Yes.
You've been in her court.
I feel like definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I had, it'd probably been in her company.
You decide, because you're about to make a roll if you have.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe you have.
Sure.
Were Farron and Artexia in that court at the same time? You never met each other, but you might at this point, because we haven't played through every moment of every day that they've been next to each other. You might realize it's kind of what you were in the high school too, that sort of thing.
You were there for that meeting.
Yeah, for this grand solstice or whatever.
She had that braid,
Do you think yes or no,
Yes.
or you missed
yeah.
each other? Okay,
Possibly, yeah.
All right. So the three of you who have been in Kishtar Lunara's presence, make a Arcana check. Yeah.
It's just a 10 for me.
Okay. Gary, you're just reading Madame Ava as like as a potent shaman.
Plus
I'll take
That makes sense.
That's how she's reading.
Take that too.
so 18.
18. Okay.
21, natural 20 though.
Not 20. Okay.
Tells you so much.
Farron, you're feeling like a chaotic but powerful worker of will, with a capital W. So I try not to use specialized terms in this campaign, but basically someone who knows her way around a spell or two. And there's obviously you're noting these oddities where the face seems smooth and then it seems deeply lined.
Yeah.
And then even at other points the flesh is like so paper thin that you can see some of the veins underneath it. Then it goes back to being like maybe 50 years old or something. For the two of you with an 18 and a 21, actually, Artexia, your DC was just a tad lower because you are kind of this, and you are of her line, of Kishtar Lunara's line. Both of you know, as you're looking into those eyes, and you look and you look and you look, and this is all before she said really anything, you cannot find the bottom of her eyes.
They're empty.
You are looking at an ageless creature who, much like her wisdom, stands somewhat outside of the flow of time.
Should probably not steal from her.
Glad you got there by yourself.
Wise conclusion.
No, No, you probably shouldn't.
Won't steal.
Now you're reading my mind.
What's there to read? Now sit down.
Oh my god, I like her. Farron scuttles to the front. She likes her vibe.
I don't know.
She's right up next to Gira now.
She looks around. Oh, you people. Really? Huh. Please. You don't need the tourist crap.
Oh, I see.
She's like, Alphonse, you can. It's okay. Put the horn down. We're not going to do that routine.
So you've realized that we are not just your regular traveler.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh, I remember you. Oh, you don't remember me. How interesting.
Met us before?
You're here for a little peek, aren't you? A little something. They always want something. What do you want?
A lot of shit.
Did you not call us in here?
Okay. You. I'll tell you this.
Okay.
Your fates are bound. Really bound.
So nothing we do matters, is what you're saying? It's all decided already.
Oh.
It's not how fate works.
Maybe I don't get fate.
Maybe not. Someone's already started on yours. Someone very particular. You want a way out? You want a way to win? You want a way to live? You want a way to love? Pick.
Only one?
Don't get greedy.
Don't be selfish, Gira. Come on.
Love.
Wow. Is Ishtar whatever? Is he with us right now? No, right?
Yeah, he came in. Ishmael.
Ismark?
Ismark.
Yeah, he's there, and he's just like he looks like a country kid in the big city right now, but in reverse. Like he's kind
You just heard her say that?
he's kind of looking around.
He looks like the big shiny thing.
Literally
In the dusty attic.
Yeah, and he's like his eyes are bulge. He doesn't. You don't think he really registered you saying that? Like he's not really following the conversation as he's looking around, and then he finally he's just leaning forward and forward at trying to look at Madame Ava's face and eyes more closely.
Yeah.
All right, kid, that's close enough. I don't need to smell what you ate. And he comes back.
Is she like sitting?
Yeah, she's sitting.
Then Gira will move forward and sit down, I guess, right in front of her.
Just
assuming there's a spot that looks.
She's got some cushions, and yeah, you kind of grab one of you drag over one of the pillows, and you guys are all nice and low. There's a low table in front of her that has some sort of pretty, honestly, kind of chintzy bad mock-up of like a plaster skull that she has there, and she smiles and she's like, well, I don't want to chase anybody off, but here, you can meet Milo. And she brings out this brass-bound head that looks like it might actually be a head underneath the metal.
Lovely.
Good boy. That was a fun night.
So we can't, there's no holes in it? We can't see? We were just assuming that there's a head in there?
No, you can see like the eye sockets
Oh, okay.
in the mouth. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And if we were playing Cthulhu, there'd be a minor sanity loss involved with that.
Oh.
Good start. Good start.
I'm getting the tingles.
You'll do. Greedy bastard. There we are. That's enough right now. Would you mind if I just... Yeah, I would. You're cute, but not that cute. As Sasha looks like he's reaching forward and about to maybe touch, one of the cards. I like my mess. He's bitter, that man. He knows it's his final dance. The one in the wagon. Don't go in it. Oh, that's stupid. He has part of what you need, though. There is love in it, in that tale, in that tome he has. He's an outsider, like you all. Interesting. I can't see his face clearly. That's interesting. His son, gone now. He has the first piece. In all likelihood, you'll meet him before any of the others fall into place. There's something waiting for you in that same town. Or maybe you. Both of you have, well, you are pure. You have Fey blood in you, don't you, girl? It could work. It's attuned to Fey blood. You're going to need it to find the dawn. A necklace. But the little girl who has it, she doesn't know. She has no idea.
Little girl has it?
Yeah, this is a lot. This is what happens when it loops. Damn it. Hold on.
Now we see why her surroundings are also so cluttered. Your mind.
All right. Him first. The bitter father with the disguises. But the wagon is always the same. It's colorful. Actually, could be Vistani even. It's not, but it could be mistaken for one. Where's the second piece? Where is the second? Yes. The second one. The one that was forged by the heroes who came before, if you are heroes. The ones who fought against the devil anyway. That symbol, that lies with the sleeping prince. They hid it under the devil's nose. Good. That was smart. He'll never check there.
What are you talking about?
Pay attention.
Don't interrupt. It won't make sense.
It's a tomb? He's very still. Long dead. The brother of the devil. Yes, that was smart. Why can I see it through you? Oh, because at least one of you survives to pick it up. That's why. Of course. You'll have to go into the devil's own home. Good luck with that. There is a way, though. Actually, you've already passed one by, I think. That symbol. That statue? Amulet? You, dwarf. You serve the Morning Lord. It will work for you. Quite well, actually. Where's the next piece? All right. The woman, then. The woman who is more than the sum of her parts. She's far from here. You cannot defeat him without her help. I hear wedding bells. Or perhaps a death knell? When you find her, she will be stitched together, incomplete. There is a pathway where you can make her whole. Her storm, her wholeness, is buried. It's in the southern village, the one he destroyed, the one where Strahd turned his fury. It doesn't exist anymore. It's wiped off the face of the map. The last part of her is there. She needs it to function. You'll die in his lightning storm. Otherwise, all of you, none of you will be that strong. There's one last piece. Oh, fuck. You've been having conversations. Some very interesting ones. Okay, I guess I have to take you a little more seriously then. You're not just a pretty face and a bad attitude.
Mostly.
No, you have no idea of your potential yet, of your true depth.
Okay.
She wouldn't be interested otherwise. The dawn cannot return. That's the name. That's the name some heroes have given it. Dawn. That could do it. You might actually be able to beat him with that in your hands. The pale girl has taken that herself, which means she's taken an interest in you, in this group, which is probably bad, but done is done. That is somewhere beyond Amber Doors, at her very feet. That's where Dawn is. That pendant, that's why you'll need the pendant, though. Someone of Fey blood. It will lead you to Dawn. Otherwise, I don't think you can find it. The girl who has it, she has a mole here, a beauty mark. She's young. Not a baby, though. You'll find her in Vallaki. Am I seeing? Yes. It's Vallaki. He'll love you. He'll love you.
Why?
Because you remind him of hope. He will probably betray you for his family, though. Most of the time he does.
It's a very typical story for most men, so it's okay.
It will end the way that all such things must end between immortal creatures, my dear, with tears and a journey. He may die defending you. Interesting. Isn't the heart of an elf a funny enough thing?
He would die defending me?
He may. Let me phrase it differently so it's clear. If it comes to it, he will. I see that clearly. If there's going to be any hope, you have to convince him to let the past go and to look at the future, to understand that. I don't know if you have that in you, but that's the only red thread that there is. You'll know him when you see him, a mage of considerable power in his own right. But his spirit is broken right now. I do not know if you have a kiln inside of you that can reforge it. Haven't you noticed? There are no women elves in Morovia.
Of course I've noticed.
Strahd enacted a gruesome retribution.
What happened?
I may answer that.
You have answers for everything else, but you don't have the one thing I'm actually asking you about.
The only reason I mentioned it is because This young lady asked for love.
Yeah, which was a weird call, by the way.
You will find no love of the flesh here, dwarf. But you may just find a love of the spirit. There are other outsiders in Barovia, other people afoot. You are lucky. It is a slim thread, but this is the strongest thread I can remember seeing. Without their help, you would be doomed. You understand that you tread where hundreds, perhaps thousands of others have gone before and have all failed. But there are more of them here now than I have seen. And if you can find what the Sleeping Prince holds, that was forged before by ones who attempted. It wasn't enough, but it may help you.
Sounds like someone who's dead. The Sleeping Prince.
Wrong.
The brother.
The devil's brother in a tomb?
I assume one of Strahd's own.
What exactly did I say? It's difficult when I'm that far out to remember when I'm in my talking head.
Well, you mentioned that the brother of the devil.
He did. He had a family. His castle, Ravenloft, is named after his mother, Ravenovia, Queen Ravenovia.
Small bits and pieces that we've learned as we've been here.
A place you said he would not check.
No, he's ashamed of that too.
And I would imagine, to some degree, for all the horrors that we hear about Strahd, it sounds like he's got some level of guilt, perhaps, or even, I don't know, some sort of twisted sense of honor or
A code. He abides by a code.
Even I would not presume to know his heart, but you are not wrong. You, back there, don't fuck them over. She's looking at Morgathi.
You didn't even need to say it.
You have to let that crap go. We both know what happens when you try. And why, madam, would I ever let go of the thing that motivates me? Because, boy, and he bristles, professor. She does have a slight smirk on her face. You actually have a chance to burn it away and forge something anew, the same way that she does. But all you have to do is contend with the ghost. All? Contend with the ghost. I leave it to the two of you to decide which task is harder. You can't do it if you carry the burden of your love and yourself. It won't work. It never does. But it never does. And I'm not speaking theoretically. She just looks at Finney and shakes her head.
You've said that we've been on a...
He takes something out of his pocket and slowly puts it back.
Oh, Finny, be careful.
And then just like does... Just like sidesteps behind the rest of the group and then fades Homer-like into the bushes, or behind Agira in this case.
I'm glad he's the guinea pig today.
You've said when we've been in your presence before that you remember us. At the risk of, I don't know, repeating yourself, is it, have we been doing this before? Or is there just different possibilities that you're seeing?
I saw you all die. And I don't mean in a vision. I'm almost certain it was...
We have seen our dead selves, too.
We saw something.
You are all from the same land. Yeah, sometimes the mists, they don't.
We came together.
In this case,
All
yes.
together.
Accidentally all together.
Well, it happens that way, but usually it gets snatched up. Every so often it all will be a group at once, not ones or twos. Just like what happened 12, 13, 20, 200 years ago. That other group that was so much like you. 6 of them, all chosen.
So the last...
Escher.
Those were the last chosen was 200 years ago? That came to this land?
Grandmother, Nicola says from the flap. That was almost gently. That was 12. It was 12 years. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
12.
that's significantly different from 200.
12. Escher, the beautiful man with the bard with the voice. He was two rivers like you, elven and human. They had that barbarian woman, that weirdly cultured barbarian woman who reminds me kind of you. Her name was Sigrid, grandmother. Sigrid. Escher and Sigrid. And there were others. They came to me, I gave them a reading. But these two weren't here. And the woman who is more than the sum of her parts, she did not yet exist. Yes, that's significant. Did he fell them then with lightning? Did they die in that storm? Pity. I liked listening to him sing. You don't need me to tell you where to find love. You're doing just fine.
It's kind of my thought as well, to be fair.
Finally, that snaps through his mark, and he slowly looks over. Is Gira looking at him when he's looking over her, or is she just staring straight ahead?
She's just staring straight ahead.
She feels like her ears a little pink.
She did mean that in a different way that other people may not
Sure,
quite
sure.
understand it. It's more like Gira is recognizing this woman as seeing more than. So she meant that in a different
She looks,
way. Including that.
It's like
Including-
your eyes,
yeah,
your
yeah.
eyes are the last thing
Yeah.
you turn.
Which is like, doesn't hurt if I hear a little bit about it.
Right.
Life, you know?
But it wasn't like, ooh, tell me who my boyfriends are gonna be.
she says, let me just tell you this much. Your gut's correct. Your gut's correct. Much like myself, I would be very little point in you going home, at least in that regard. Go back when you want. Not because you have to, because you don't. Got it?
Understood.
Good.
I have a question for you.
I'd be
think-
disappointed if you didn't.
Do you think that?
You think I break out the good cards for every Tom, Dick, and Harry?
Do you think it's perhaps the level of providence that we here are the ones that are chosen? Maybe there's something else out there that's trying to break this cycle. You say that there's something different about this.
It's a lot of people converging. Yeah, it's a lot. The Bitter Father. There's one other one. A younger sister of his, student. She's at the very edge. Don't fuck that up. She has her own issues.
You don't happen to know the names of any of these people, do you?
But she's a good one. No.
One has a beauty mark.
The girl, though, she has it here.
You're listing a lot of people and a lot of items. And is all of this for the purpose of defeating Strahd? Because I'm going to be plain. I'm more interested in getting home. I understand the plight of the people who live here and sympathize and all of that,
you?
but
Honey,
I understand as much as I can. And the sympathy part, you can tell for yourself, I'm sure.
we can leave whenever we want.
You can. How the fuck do we get out of here?
You don't.
I think that's why we need to listen. I think it has to be a part of them.
The only way out is through.
But what you're saying is if we defeat him, then we can leave? This mist magically disappears and there's just a happy little trail to our house?
I'm not going to go that far, but I'm going to say that I know how the story ends. How the story always ends.
Doesn't sound good.
If you don't, you'll get picked off one by one. This isn't a threat, this is just facts. You're not going to survive indefinitely here. Well, you'll get stronger. But you have to have a driving purpose or you're done for. And these people are all here right now. I don't believe in coincidence at all. the fact that you have, I don't know, half a dozen potential allies, it's very odd. You'd be lucky to have one. And all of you coming, you come with spring in your veins, you especially.
That, like, makes me think back home, and it makes me, like, feel a little happy that he can sense that. Like, it's not totally gone inside of me. I feel like it's gone. So that was awesome.
This is always winter, this place, or at best fall. Surely you understand that by now. I have a potion I could sell you, but don't waste your money. One more. You locked and loaded, dwarf, or are you dry?
Well, I don't know that I came in here with a slurry of questions.
Your loss.
Who controls the mists?
There we go. There's my girl. I knew I liked the cut of your jib.
Give her a little nudge. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, that was it. That was it.
Sometimes, Strahd, there is a goddess here, though. Very particular one. She is the handmaiden to the pale girl. Her name is his name, their name, its name, is Ezra Mist Warden. I would say that the Mist Warden is the one probably most likely to directly influence and manipulate the mists. Amongst my people, every so often we have mist dancers who are born, those who the mists will follow when they're in motion. They are our guides throughout the realms. Unfortunately, even if we allowed you to, which we wouldn't, but even if we allowed you to ride in one of our wagons, the mists would never let you through. They'd either kill you or snatch you back, depending. Believe me, other people have stowed away and tried. Sometimes we wind up in corpses in the backs of the wagons when they get desperate enough. Mm. But Ezra Mist Warden, ultimately the Pale Girl, she is the one who, I don't know, dreamed this land into existence. Her might is beyond reckoning, which is why I find it incredibly interesting that she's showing up in a reading like this. That's brow-raising, that she would be holding Dawn.
Does she oppose Strahd?
No. But she is... This is a great goddess. Part of my gig is to know my pay grade. And speculating on that sort of thing, who knows? I barely understand the Mist Warden. So...
Strahd's gone through a lot of trouble to make it sound like this place exists because of him. But what you're just saying doesn't make it seem that it's true.
At least not that straightforward.
Not that straightforward, which is why you need the information that the bitter man has, the bitter father has, the one with the colorful carnival. I think you'll learn much more there. In fact, I know you will. Who has the highest passive insight?
I think
in
it's
this
me.
group?
Passive insight? Isn't that passive insight? No.
It's not listed on there, but it's basically the biggest check, the biggest plus on insight.
Just a +1.
We're probably tied, actually.
I have a +4.
+4?
Yeah, +4.
You have a +4?
I do then. I have a 6.
6. Justin, make an insight check.
Yeah, it's the passive perception that I have the 16
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 13.
Okay. Something, when you ask such a specific question, something moves under the surface of this woman's face. Although you can't quite read what it is. But you know that got her attention somehow, or that got her thinking in a different direction.
About the...
That he's gone to a great deal of trouble to make it appear like he created Barovia.
Mm-hmm.
You see an opening if you wanted to follow up on it.
Is there something else more that you wanted to say about that?
wanted to, make a persuasion check.
All right. Man. 10.
Not really. We'll see how this plays out.
Swerve.
Are you... As part of your pay grade, you're being neutral?
Something like that. You know, when you get to Vallaki, don't leave this one alone. She points to Sasha. I hadn't intended to, ma'am, as Mark says. There are a lot of ways that can go sideways, okay? There are a lot of people who are going to want a piece of him in different directions. None of them good. You know, maybe one of them kind of good, but most of them bad. All the rest bad. They're going to lie to you. They're going to try to cheat you, and they're going to try to trick you. The last thing I'll say on all of this... Wait, you had something? Go. I know I said one, but you're interesting. More interesting than I thought. You're pretty freaking interesting for a dwarf.
What is it that you want?
The last thing I'll say is... It may be cliche, but you're not going to make it through without the power of friendship. And you hear Morgathi, ugh.
I also roll my eyes. It was like synchronized, ugh.
But, yeah.
Hey, don't worry, they're coming around.
That includes you, Twinkle Toes. She looks over at him. All right. Go away now.
Thank you for your hospitality of you and your people.
She just, yeah.
No.
She just kind of sags.
Really, this place has not exactly been a pleasant experience, and this has certainly been one of the highlights, so I mean that sincerely.
Nicola calls out, Gran said she's tired.
No.
Move your meat.
I'll move.
Gira does a slight bow.
Okay.
Beds. We need beds.
I was about to say, we're all pretty tired. Would there be any room for us here to stay?
Are you going out of the tent to the leader? The quote-unquote leader?
Yes.
I am. Okay. I'm getting out of the
Okay.
tent. No, we're staying welcome.
Right, yeah.
I'm already like heading toward the fire out of my bedroll. I'm like
I'm making sure Fanny
unpacking.
is coming with us.
Yeah. Sasha lingers for a second, and to you. She does this trick Madame Ava does where she pitches her voice. All of you know she's speaking, and if you're paying attention, you can hear it. But it's almost like even though she's back in the tent, Justin, and you're maybe 20 feet away or something now, 15, 20 feet away now, you can hear her voice as if she's speaking right behind your ear. And she tells you, remember this, Strahd has had many consorts, but only one true love. A girl named Tatiana, lost to the mists. Remember that. Or be damned.
Do I know that that's a pitched voice thing happening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
I mean, the rest of you could potentially have heard those words.
I don't know
It's just like, it's almost like super ventriloquism, but it's not.
Oh, she's only saying it to him?
I mean, all of you can hear it, but it's like she was speaking next to him instead of 20 feet back in the tent.
So we've walked out of the tent, but now, and Madam and whoever, her mom or whoever is already in the tent, they stay, right? They stay.
Yeah,
back?
Madame Ava stayed. Nicola was kind of lingering outside of the tent flap, and she, as you guys are coming out, she basically just kind of ticks her chin over to a nice patch next to the river. That's grassy, open.
I headed straight that direction.
Okay.
I'm literally unrolling my stuff.
Okay.
While everyone's doing that, I want to turn into a spider and sneak inside and see if I can look inside the scroll.
Okay.
In real life, I roll.
Okay.
Thank you for your hospitality
make
while I
a-
trash it.
I'm not gonna trash it. I'm just taking a sneak peek.
You're just taking a little.
It's just.
Hey.
I'm not even stealing it. I just want to look at it.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're going to wait until Nicola's like like involved with them for a second.
Right.
The
This
other
is
ones,
why there are no
Yes.
she-elves in this place.
the other ones, the other ones
We now know.
Now
We
we
the other ones have kind
understand.
of gotten drunker and drunker,
Right,
and the
right.
fire's starting to burn down a bit.
I'm getting tired. I'm just about ready to go to bed too. I'm
Okay.
just like, I keep
then-
thinking about that scroll.
She's like sneaking in.
Make a so you there's a moment where you can just
Okay.
make a stealth check as the spider.
Hold on. Which one feels hot? Which one feels hot? This one feels hot. What is that one? What is this? Okay, we're doing this one. Okay.
Okay, stealthy spider. You better be a real stealthy spider
Spider
today.
self. Spider self.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Spider self.
We can't
What is it, stealth? Okay, so that's plus 3, 13. Can I do some sort of thing to make that better? Or is 13 gonna be good?
I think you actually used the spider stealth.
Oh!
Yeah. Look up whatever the
That's
it's
right.
probably a little
It might be stealthier.
Use
Hopefully it's
quite
physical
small.
characteristics
Hopefully it's
of
better.
whatever you turned into.
It's probably gonna be it's probably be like another 3 higher or something.
Yeah, I think spiders get stealth. I
Spider!
think it's like a +6 or something.
Okay.
as she's looking that up, the rest of you begin to bed down.
Yes.
Morgathy looks kind of put out, and he plops down and just kind of
plus 4, so it's 14.
just almost robotically, like the most robotically you've seen him move, goes out, takes the grimoire that you found in the crate that got blown up, in the treasure chest that got blown up, and then he just kind of starts listlessly leafing through it, almost at random.
You know, my folk don't do a lot of talking, but we do a pretty good fair bit of listening if you ever need it.
You just don't stop, do you?
No, he doesn't. And I'm like already curling
Yeah.
up in my little bedroll.
I'm not here, but if I were, I would say. I would say that we are supposed to be friends now or something.
I just don't know how seriously to take her. I mean, she's like one part charlatan, one part oracle, one part so old she needs to just drive and blow away, and one part power. Looking into her eyes, I've been in front of her wisdom before under less than ideal circumstances. I was when I got drummed, when I got backstabbed by my loving colleagues at the College of Mysteries. You know, they can't defrock a professor, so to speak, without a formal inquiry. It's all part of the process. I got to see those eyes turned on me. 40,000 years of wait. It was terrifying. It was humiliating. All because I refused to give up when all the others told me it was impossible. Necromancy gets a bad rap. Anyway, just reminded me of that. I wanted to say more in there. You know that thing where you have that cutting remark 2 minutes after the conversation is over? So, you know, I almost envy you. Must be nice to have all those thorny moral questions and paradigm shadows all with light shined onto them. The light of the morning, Lord. You don't ever really have to wonder what to do you? Or why you're doing something. You just follow his path, and that's kind of the way of it.
No. Oh, no, not at all.
No?
That's going to sound awfully cliche, but it's about having faith.
Oh, God.
That doesn't mean it makes it easy.
It's always the same with you people, with you clerics.
And not at all. Honestly, this place, I'm going to have to do a lot of things I don't want to do.
Well, welcome to the rest of us.
Give him a little faith, Morgathy. Why do you think he hangs around with somebody like me?
Bad taste?
Fair enough. And she officially rolls over and closes her eyes.
It's not always about faith in a god. Faith is just belief. What do you believe in? Enough to keep fighting.
Okay. Why does the half-orc consistently have these deep takes? I mean, seriously.
Why are you assuming that we don't?
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason her wisdom stuffed all of you onto Peninsula, I assume.
Maybe there's more to that story too.
Maybe.
Have you ever listened to it?
I would say the one lesson to take away from our time here and with each other so far, McGathy, is that nobody here in this group is all that they seem to be. And that's a good thing. And that was a chance for each of us to learn, myself included.
Okay. Gira of Clan Shikani, what do you put your faith in? Your axe? Your good right arm?
My clan.
Which isn't here right now.
As far as I can tell, I'm looking at them.
Fuck you. he lies down and turns his back on you and pulls his cover up and over him.
Yeah, I think he's secretly smiling on that other side of that.
All right, Spider.
Back to the
I
spider.
can hear them as I'm turning into a spider. I'm like, that's kind of cute. 14.
Little spidery legs.
I imagine I go upside down on the little bookcase around the corner.
So you're kind of dozing over there, and you see the cards. It starts to be a soft glow from them as they rise up. And a pouch comes up. With that same glow, the mouth opens.
Sucks them in.
And then the cards just... You don't even think she's doing it. You think the cards are doing it themselves.
Enchanted.
I need that for my son's toys.
Facts.
It's like this is a built-in cleaning system. Everyone else thinks it's disorganized.
And you get in there, and unfortunately, you're going to find
Next.
one difficulty. You do, so you climb up. You kind of like do the rock climber thing, or like this on the scroll, because the scroll's like poking out, you know, so you're... And you're so close, so you're inside the scroll right now, but you're so close to it
Yeah,
that you can't really
freaking read
see
it.
what it is. Yeah, it's just whoop.
Giant
Yeah,
letters.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. Because IRL, I would probably not be able to read much going inside, but okay.
Even
There's
though
not a single picture, there's nothing I can...
the spider does have dark vision, right? I believe
Yeah.
listed
Yeah.
as one of its
Did
senses.
he say it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Passive perception.
So you can make it out, but it's all so close. I'll go ahead and make so with your wisdom, go ahead and make a perception check, because your mental has replaced the spiders.
Okay, so with my
Not the
wisdom...
mental.
Okay.
Yeah, because your wisdom's a lot higher.
Make a
than-
perception check.
Yeah, your wisdom's a lot higher.
Your normal
than spiders.
perception check.
He's no good.
Oh, you got an out one.
At 3, so I got 7.
Oh, 7. Okay, not an out
Could
one.
be worse.
And that one, Curse of Strahd, sometimes can be kind of bad.
Sometimes you turn into birds.
Right. Well,
you're not careful.
you especially.
Sometimes.
Surprise wild magic.
Sometimes other
I'm
things.
like, actually, I rolled this one,
Should add
guys.
a bit.
This is the wrong dice. Can I do that again?
You
So
got
you-
7 and out of 9? I don't know that it makes much of a
No, I
difference.
got 3 and a 4. It's 7, yeah.
Okay. You yeah, because you have proficiency in perception, don't you? Mm-hmm. So you should have, I think, a +6 total.
Yeah.
Yeah. +6.
three.
So a 9. You rolled a 3, so you got a 9.
I thought that we were doing wisdom. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I wasn't clear on that. basically when you're the animal, your mental stats replace the animals. So it's a normal perception check to you because you're a lot wiser than the spider. I see where the confusion was. My bad.
Okay,
I didn't
that's
explain that
fine.
well.
Nice.
So okay, so you're looking around, and since you're having no trouble navigating, you even kind of get the idea to try to rub some of your legs.
I was
Were you? Did I?
I was just about to also like kind of like try to like push like maybe a little bit or something.
to try to. So
like
the
under
scroll.
further
So
away
the
from
scroll is like the scroll is like.
Man.
The determination, though, man.
I'm
Can't knock it.
impressed. You basically confirm that this looks like something very similar to what Durgan has in his possession because you still have those scrolls that you got. I mean, you should.
In the dust.
Should be
Maybe I'll just ask you for yours. All right.
And then that's probably about all you can
In
figure
the
out.
moment I squeeze my way on out of there and give her one look at while she's like doing a nasty snot bubble, I feel like I'm like, get out of here.
Okay. And
Oh boy.
what you don't see is her eye watching you
Oh, shit.
as you crawl out.
She's seen to you.
And then
She's seen to you. She didn't come over and step on you, so that's a win.
I didn't steal anything. I was being a good girl for most
But
part.
you're being sneaky.
being a little sneaky.
So whenever I sleep, I can I reset all my wild shapes, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, so then I can just go back to where redhead, blue-eyed Sasha's at,
Okay.
and I'll turn it back into my cat and go to sleep. Cuddle. That's like my little sleep.
Cat sleep is the best.
Okay, where's Ismark?
By the no, he'd be by his brother. So basically, he makes like River, Sasha, and then Ismark is so River on one side of Sasha, Ismark on the other side of him. And then at some point, Cat.
Before I actually, I'm gonna if he'll have my company, I'm gonna see if I can heal him before actually going to sleep.
Nice.
Good idea. Okay.
Well, that's a good idea.
Don't worry about rolling. You have enough juice. That you lay hands on him and you hear him. Thank you, Durgan. And then he lays on his side, looking out from the river. Puts his head down.
The body's on the mend. We'll work on the rest, okay?
We should.
He'll just kind of squeeze his arm.
Gives you kind of a tight smile. We should come up with the watches, eh? We probably don't all want to be asleep at the same time.
Aye, that's true.
Who wants to take first watch?
I am already asleep.
Okay, you're asleep.
I can.
Okay, you take.
I'll take
first.
second one because I take short nap, right?
You do.
Yeah.
You need 4 hours of essentially meditation or trance.
Okay.
So so you're
So you could take the last.
Yeah.
on first.
Who's on second?
Who's on second? Who's going to take the second
Good
shift?
one. I'm sleeping.
You're sleeping.
I can, I guess. Sure.
Okay, actually,
I
second.
have to do third.
Second's the only one that you couldn't take.
I need
Or
to
should
actually. You know
Morgathy
what?
take first?
Probably Morgathy should. Yeah,
Have the elves do the bookends.
the bookends, and then have the humans in the
Also,
middle.
getting up early is going to be kind of important for me. It's the morning lord.
Oh, so maybe at the end for you.
Yeah.
Because that would give you your 6 quote unquote sleeping hours, and then you can have 2 hours of light activity per the book. Okay, so
Actually, yeah, Farron would like to get up with Durgan.
So you two will be the
We'll do
caboose.
the last
That-
one.
That makes sense. You two will be the caboose. You'll be the first, and then after your watch is over, you go to sleep. And so you and Finny at some point are
Wake up and
are out.
help. Yeah.
Finny's kind of a restless, kicky sleeper anyway.
As we know.
Yeah. So like the head, wherever the head starts at the night, he's like done almost a 180 by the time he's done. So he's
makes so much
he's
sense.
kicking. So you're almost used to him kicking you.
Yep.
Because no matter where he starts, he rotates.
There's different kind of finny kicks.
Yeah, there are different kinds of finny kicks, and this is.
There's the normal kicks, and then there's a bear. Let's run.
Yeah.
How long? I always think like 2 years. How long have you been with Finny, traveling with him?
Yeah. Let's go with 2 years.
Okay.
I think she's been out wandering like 4 or 5. So I like that. 2.5.
You're correct.
She's known him.
Well, we should decide.
Gerecki.
We should decide how you and, under like the exact circumstances, you and Finny met each other.
Oh, that's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, I think so. We should come up with that. Okay.
Ooh, he was trying to rob you.
Ooh, that's a good one, Justin.
What do you think you're doing?
That's a good one. Yeah. I feel like you're just like, I hip massage,
I thought that
In that case,
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, okay. Punching into your glutes with his fists, All right. Artexia.
Who's that?
So you're having a little something. What is Artexia meditating
a little
upon?
kitty nap.
What in her kitty sleep, in her doze, in her 4 hours of kind of trancing out?
Well, right now that scroll is fresh on my mind. So the thing is that, remember I had said in the beginning that I was going to the big city to learn to level up my magic.
That's true. Yes.
So yeah,
true.
that is weighing a little heavily, but at the same time, what she said about if we don't become friends basically and do this together as a team.
Well, she said when she wasn't there.
No, I was there, wasn't I?
No, you said I'm a spider and I'm over there. But
no, I can hear you.
You can hear. Yeah,
I can hear
I'll say
you.
she can hear.
I was just around the corner, wasn't I? I don't know. But anyways. Ow.
She wants us to be friends.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm just meditating on the fact that I'm like, you know what? I mean, I'm sleeping with this dude right now. Next to him, like I'm kind of comfortable. And they're starting to get, under my skin a little bit in like a more lovey-dovey way, like friends. So yeah, I'm thinking about all that and the magic. Those are all, how are we gonna get out of here? So yeah, that's what's happening.
Okay. You, being an elf, I mean, you can choose to go to sleep, but typically, like in a potentially dangerous situation like this,
I'd meditate.
you're going to meditate so that you're semi-aware of what's going on and you don't just get shocked. And in that context, you're seeing, how would this exactly come to you? Because it's not really a dream. There's this persistent idea. You keep imagining that scroll from different angles, you saw what it looked like when Durgan had it in his hands. So you know roughly what it would look like if he unfurled it. And so then you have this picture of this beautiful, like hard white, thick vellum paper with this gold embossed lettering on it. I mean, it's sparkling.
So shiny.
And as you're unfurling it, you see it, and then there's a little whiff, something kind of foul in the air, and you start to see that the gold doesn't look quite so orange anymore. It's got a little red tinge to it.
It's a Playboy scroll is what I'm hearing.
In your thoughts. Then the writing starts to turn and turn and turn, darker, darker, darker red. Your hands start to ache. You cough a little bit, and when you cough, because the scroll, when you cough, you see where your breath hits it. It splashes onto it, and it starts to turn the letters even deeper red. And then every time you're coughing, your breath is going into it, and it becomes thicker and harder to pull back. Who took first? It was Gira.
Yeah.
All right. You see Artexia start to flop and thrash a bit. And now you're full on.
She changing or?
And a mouth affixes to yours and begins to
Kira's gonna run over and grab the cat,
suck the breath.
slash our taxi, and dunk her in the river.
Okay. Okay. And all of a sudden, you've transformed. You're gasping. You feel deep dehydration, dryness, painful cracking in your face and lips. And your fingers look withered. And as you come back, your max HP is down by 7 points.
Damn.
That was madam. I know it was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to do that. I did.
She said, "Spider me again, bitch. See what happens. Next time I'm gonna get your whole face."
Finny pops up. Huh? What? Looking around. You okay? And now there's a bit of a hubbub. Morgathi's eyes snap open, and he rolls. You see some sort of energy around his hands as he's kind of, because he just kind of got snapped out of it. Gira, are you gonna do anything as you pull her? Hoist
First
her
of
back
all,
up?
what shape is she?
I'm a human again.
Okay.
You're probably back in.
Okay, because when she dumped me.
I'd kind of try to hold her up and let her know that I'm holding her and make sure she doesn't fall back down in the river, kind of thing.
While she's shaking me, I'm like, I finally catch my breath, and I was like,
There's some blood trickling from her cheek where her skin got so thin it cracked. Just a trickle.
feel that my hands are shaking as I
You were stuck in dream. Are you okay?
give a glance. I don't answer her, and I give a glance back over to the tent. I was like, I think I messed up.
Make an Arcana roll. Artaxia.
19
Okay. Wow.
plus 2, so yeah, 21.
21. As you sit with it for just a moment, it wasn't Madame Ava's presence that you felt on you. She was aware of it.
I assumed it was her because of my guilt, right?
She chose not to say anything, but it wasn't her who actually assaulted you.
I go, wait.
It was a much fouler presence. There's a little burn.
Strahd the wit, that guy, freaking what? Don, what's his name?
Which one?
Strahd the witch, fucking something.
Oh, Von Zarovich?
Vanzaro.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. So your right hand is fine, and when you pull your left hand away, you see that where that skin had cracked, and there's still some blood there.
I had this dream where it was. I don't want to tell her about the scroll I went and snuck at. The scrolls that he has that he took from the chest. That it was in my dream, and it attached to my face and started sucking my breath. And as I'm saying that, I feel it cracks. I'm like, and I stop talking. I'm like,
And he's like, "You're okay now. It's over. But something did happen to your face."
Simple nightmare would not make you bleed.
This was magic. This was not just a nightmare. This was a warning.
Maybe, or something worse.
That scroll you still have. Is he awake now?
Yeah, after all this, you'd be kind of bleary, but you're tracking.
I just took out in the scrolls that we got, yeah.
Can I see them? I have them just to see if it does. I feel like it's. I'm afraid it's gonna do the same exact thing. Should we not have these in our possession anymore?
I mean, you're welcome to look. All of them were of my faith. At least something
fair
something akin to it.
Okay.
She picked one eye open, saw that Durgan was
on
attending to it, and went right back.
You read them?
Aye, enough to know what they are.
You didn't have any dreams after you read them? Nothing happened to your face?
Nothing like this, no.
I mean, they seem to be legit empowered blessings from the Morning Lord.
You're welcome to see them if you want.
Presumably from a fallen cleric.
No. I already have a feeling it's not the same.
Artexia. This is Sasha's now.
Let me see that.
Like lean in for you to.
Try to figure out what he might be able to do.
Does she still look like her skin is like cracked and dry?
You can dab at the blood and it will stop flowing. Like that part you can clean and control and maybe even like put like a small little patch there.
Can't I heal myself?
Get your lavender soap out, girl.
But the withering, you actually, as you check in now, you feel that thing that makes you special, the thing that allows you to shapeshift and cast magic, and you feel that has been diminished.
What?
Like something is feeding off of your very essence.
Isn't there some curse or something against female elves?
Curse? What curse?
Looks at you. You mean she's gonna wither up like a prune? Die?
I hope not.
I'm going to detect magic real quick, and I just like throw my
Okay.
hands around.
What's the range on that?
30 feet of me.
I think it's 30. Okay.
Yes, 30.
And you take your action and you're looking.
It can penetrate most barriers. Sorry.
Read that exact description to me.
The spell
How can you
can
look
penetrate.
at yourself though?
I don't know if, you may be doing that as a ritual too.
No,
The
she didn't.
spell
It's-
can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, and a thin sheet of lead or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Paragraph above that, dear.
Okay, sorry. For the duration, you sense the presence of the magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, Infinity.
Fair.
You can feel it.
You look around, so you see a light glow of abjuration protection magic around, and maybe one other thing around the scrolls that he's carrying. You see if any of them are poking out. If you have them completely hidden, because she has to be able to physically see something.
Oh yeah, just took didn't you?
Oh, had you taken one of them out to compare?
I don't know that I took them out unless
You
you
took them
wanted
to
see them.
hand them to me, no? And I was like, nah.
Your choice. So are the scrolls visible or no?
If she was wanting to see them, I wasn't hiding them. Sure,
Okay.
maybe the pack's open or something, but I.
Okay. So yeah, you can see that. I mean, the magic looks wholesome, for lack of a better word. It looks like it's still intact.
It's nice magic.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's like outright magic. There's this whole thing about whether or not the grimoires are inherently magic. I think in 5th edition they're not.
But what about the magic that's like attached to me?
That's on you. You
cloak.
You don't see any. Oh, the cloak. Good call. And you see the protective weave, like a soft, gentle protective weave of like nurturing green, suffusing the cloak.
Finny has the silver sword. I don't know if that's magic.
Not magic. Yeah.
I'm wearing that, right? It's
Yeah.
not just okay.
Yeah, you're wearing the cloak of protection.
Gira doesn't have anything.
What the frick? I have a little tiny head on me. A shrunken,
Is
shriveled head.
Mark's grandfather's armor?
It is not.
That'd be nice.
Right? That would be nice. I was like, wait, what else is
No,
magical?
wait, that shrunken head
all
shriveled
right
didn't
here.
it? I mean, it went to dust or something. All the items we got from there.
No. That was only the books that went to dust. So you still have this little shriveled head with you.
Yeah, that
That's
was that
not
little
cursed.
volume of books that I grabbed.
Yeah, which is a bit macabre.
Yes.
Okay, so
But the longsword that Morgathi grabbed didn't turn to dust.
I
no,
can't have this
But I
thing
don't think
leeching
it's
from
magical.
me.
he hasn't pulled it out. She'd have to see like the blade of it.
I wanna. Well, then I need to at least heal myself then.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like 8 points. Because I was already down like 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, 7. So you pull that energy up, you place it into your face, and it just basically, imagine, Kenzie, you're pouring the water of the healing into a strainer, and it's just flowing right through, and it does not restore that part of you that's been stolen. And we will
I have like a silently freaking out moment. I'm freaking out for real though. Okay, go on.
pause the tale there for a bit.
Oh, no biggie.
It's a happy moment.
Yeah, it's such a great note.
And we will come back. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the other side of intermission.
Strahd.
Eldritch Foundry is evolving. Bringing you a virtual army of miniatures like never before in full tabletop-ready color. Paint your miniatures in our upgraded creation tool, then bring them to life in stunning one-to-one detail as 3D printed miniature masterpieces. With complete control over your digital color scheme, you can point and click for simple color fills or go all in on highlights, shading, brush techniques, and more. Create epic heroes and madness-touched monsters that are truly yours. Miniatures are 3D printed in perfect color detail using a new PolyJet 3D printing process, giving you unique, bespoke models ready to delve into any dungeon as part of your next campaign. Everything from one-off player characters to dungeon mobs and boss-level monsters that will make every player in your group jealous. But that's not all. You can take things fully digital and export into leading VTT platforms such as Tailspire and Roll20 to take your games and your custom miniatures wherever you want. Join the adventure of a lifetime. Back our campaign today to help us bring this stunning revolution in custom miniature design to reality. With Eldritch Foundry, full-color 3D design and printing.
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
I am Durgan Oakenshield, born of the steadfast Oakenshield clan of the Iron Hills. Our folk have lived for ages under the rule of the elves in a world where their control keeps peace and stability. Most of my clients sees this as a blessing, a chance to live without fear, to focus on our traditions, our forges, and our craft. They value the safety that comes with the elves' rule, thinking it lets us thrive in a world free of conflict. But I've always heard a different call. The Morning Lord teaches that life is all about growth, change, and renewal. Under the elves' tight grip, I see a world that no longer moves forward, stuck in a rigid piece that feels more like a cage. Life, in all its forms, must be free to change, to find its own path. For me, that's what true peace lies, in the balance of freedom and growth, not in the security of conformity. This view makes me a bit of an outsider in my own clan. While they respect my skills as a healer and my devotion to the Morning Lord, they do not always share my belief in the need of independence. They trust in the elves' peace, and they do not see the harm in a world that stays the same. Some of my kin think me reckless for wanting more, or for questioning the rules that have kept us safe for so long. I ken their caution, but I cannot ignore what I feel deep in my heart. I walk a path that often separates me from my kin. Guided by the Morning Lord's light, I do not openly defy the elves, nor do I seek conflict. but I believe that life, true life, must be free to grow, to rise and fall, as the sun does each day. My faith drives me to stand for that freedom, even when it leaves me apart from those I hold dear. In recent years, my journey's been shared with Farron Mock, a sharp-tongued, quick-witted half-elf sorceress with a heart as tangled as a brambled bush. Aye, she keeps me on my toes. We met by chance, and as so many paths cross in this vast world, and though we're very different, our fates have come strangely bound. It's Farron's inner conflict that pulls me in, makes me wonder just how much her heart can be healed. I am Durgan Oakenshield, a life cleric of the Morning Lord, and though me clan might nae always walk beside me, I'll carry the light at dawn wherever it's needed, for in every heart there's a spark of life waiting to be set free.
I'm Farron Mock. I grew up in Havid, where I existed under the tutelage of my two conflicting parents. My father is an elven sorcerer who gained his power from the Black Moon of Umbra. My mother is also a sorcerer, but she's human, and her power comes from Lucida, the Bright Moon. When I turned 12, I went through the gifting ceremony where I would receive my own powers of sorcery from one of the moons, but something went wrong. Now I exist in a state of division. Half elf, half human, half Umbra, half Lucida. I've never felt like I belonged. And honestly, it's put a pretty big chip on my shoulder. The only person who's ever accepted me for who I am is my dwarven companion, Durgan. He doesn't judge. That's why he's my chosen companion for my trip to Ice's End. While I have to go for my training as a diplomat, I'm really hoping to learn more about the power of the two moons. Maybe then I can embrace one and become whole.
I am Gira of Clan Shikani. My people are nomadic warriors. We follow the food and the fights. We are made up of orcs, humans, and Toka, half of each, as I am. My father is Hawk, a man of the forest, the fields, and the wind. My mother is a Gruma the Fierce, an honored orc warrior of the clan. Courage, honor, strength, skill. This is what it means to be part of the clan. When a young one becomes grown, they go on their kereki. You call it pilgrimage. It is to seek knowledge, skill, or experience to bring back to clan. This is necessary to make clans stronger, better. My Gareki focus is weapon knowledge. To become a master fighter and a worthy mate of my heart's choice.
I have the honor of being Artexia Silverfrond, of a lineage that stretches back some 40,000 years. Indeed, my line began with the immortal leader of the elven people, and they came to the world of Hytera. Her title is Her Wisdom. It's not really much to live up to, is it? Thankfully, my grandmother left the capital of Ice's End and sought to return to the ancient ways of the Great Mother, who some call Gaia. She felt the elves of the grand cities had drifted too far from our ancestors' ideals of living in harmony with nature and honoring the Great Mother in quiet daily ways. She was not alone in this, and without any design to do so, she became first a known figure, then a leader of the forest-dwelling community I would come of age within. I have always followed my own path, seeking balance in all things. Each in its season is the beating heart of the understanding of Gaia that I know. I now also know that I am chosen, blessed with power directly from the Great Mother, and it was revealed in the battle for our freaking lives. In this cursed land that is now our prison, that balance is not so easy to see. Here I have only my own blood to remind me of home. What is this terrible presence I sense on the edge of my intuition? Is it the Dreadlord from the letter we found, the Strahd von Sarovich, or something greater still? Yet another mystery to be solved if we ever want to leave this dreaded place. To die here would be unthinkable, so far away from the mother's embrace. I will walk the forests of my birth once more, even if I must tear my way across the entirety of this alien domain. Lunara Invicta!
Faraway friends, we are back. I promise you the candle has not been lit the entire time, so our break was not canonical, but
I don't know.
Got lit before we came back, so here we are. Okay, we're diving back in. Farron, you had a little something at the tail end of the watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're taking last watch together. And
Last watch. Hubbub has died down.
Yeah.
Fires have died down.
I assume maybe Durgan
Last watch.
told me about whatever the heck was happening with Artexia while
Sure.
I was refusing to wake up.
Just so.
Okay, I know I shared with you about this weird vision of Kishtari that she was, looking for me, and hopefully all of us, and that gave me a little hope, but I gotta admit, the hope part is quickly dwindling with the more I learn and the more that I hear. Oh, and you can give me a whole inspiring speech about that at some point, I'm sure, but there's something else I saw, and I don't really see the benefit of sharing it with anyone else here right now. But it was all the way back at the Durst Manor when we were meeting with the bride, Ludmilla. Honestly, I don't even remember that conversation very well because I saw something else while that was happening. There was some kind of face, and it was in the mist that was surrounding the manor. It was of the mist. And it was able to speak to me, and I was speaking with it. And I could tell that none of you all were perceiving any of this. I don't know if that was of my magic or of hers, but I don't know. Everything that the Oracle said in her tent just now, I'm wondering if this could have been one of the people she was referring to, or somehow related. I'm not smart enough to put two and two together here, so I just kind of need your help, but I don't know. She said she'd be watching, that all of this, I don't know, like she wanted me to prove myself by entertaining. So I don't know if it could be this mist dancer or the pale girl. She referred to so many beings, but all I could think about was that face. And I don't know why everyone wants to watch or pay attention to my ass. I'm not doing anything special. I just want to get the fuck out of here. And that's what I told them. They asked me what I wanted, and I said, I want a way out of here. But they made it sound like the only way out was to amuse them. I don't know what that means. I don't even know how to amuse them. I don't know if they're looking for violence, if they're looking for chaos, if they want me to die in a really cool fucking way. But I don't know, I was thinking of myself. I just wanted to do what I needed to do to get out of here. And if what the Oracle Ava said is the only way out, I'm not gonna be able to do all of that shit by myself. There's stuff that I can't even use. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't trust everybody here. I'm not really just trying to be purely selfish by not sharing things. And nobody's done anything to stab me in the back necessarily, but I don't know who these fucking people are, and I just want to go home.
First of all, I've always got your back.
I know. I'm sorry I didn't tell you before.
I don't know the answers to those things either. We've gotten a lot of very cryptic warnings and phrases and things that we don't know about this place. But we can figure it out together. I know that we're stronger together as a group than we're going to be alone.
But what if they do something? They could betray us any second. Even the Oracle looked at Morgathi questionably.
They might.
I don't want to die here. This place sucks.
We don't always choose where we are, but we can certainly choose where we go next. But we're going to have to figure out a way to get out of here if that's our goal. Some part of me thinks that this is exactly where I need to be. I didn't really contribute a whole lot back where we were, but here, these people really need something they don't have. And I know that it's going to sound like it's just my dogma talking or some sort of thing about that you might hear in a sermon, but I can't think that we're only here just by coincidence. Everything that the Oracle has said, the fact that if you believe it, our remains were found, the fact that she thinks that we're in some sort of, I don't know, a loop or some sort of a thread, she calls it. But I think that there's a reason, and if not a reason, certainly a chance for us to do some good here. And I was thinking that was the Strahd that was also the way in and out. Maybe that's not the case. As far as these folk, well, we gotta put our trust in something. And of all the things here, you and I probably do better putting our trust in these folk than anywhere else or anything else. But I've got you back.
I know.
I'm not gonna blindly let them just stab you in the back. I'm gonna betray you.
Yeah. At this point, it's the only chance we've got. I get it now. It's not gonna do me any fucking good to do the things I did back home. All those different things that she told us, all these mini pieces we would have to get exactly right to have any chance of getting out of here. It's gonna take all of these people to do it. But I'm not ready to tell them about the face yet. Let's just wait.
Farron, I know most of your life you've been looking for your call, what it is that you're supposed to do, where you fit. Maybe as weird as it sounds, maybe this is it.
But I hate this place. I hate everything about this place. thought I hated it at home, but I actually hate it here even worse. I don't know. I don't belong there. Maybe you're right.
You know what I want? I want a really good ale.
Oh my god.
I don't have it here.
Do you think they have something good in Vallaki?
I don't know. Maybe. Let's hope so.
At least it's something to look forward to.
Did you sleep all right?
I'm just glad I slept. Can finally do something again. All right, do all your morning shit.
All right, you go through a brief morning sermon. Gira, you're up by now, but you're kind of just husbanding your strength, getting ready for the day. You know, quietly sharpening weapons, making sure your armor's on correctly. Probably quietly inspecting Finney's gear, because you know how he likes to just toss crap around, and then he complains later on he can't find something or somebody stole it from him, and it's like
Rearranging in his pack.
stuffed at the bottom of his pack. Right. And I know at one point Gira had expressed interest in learning more about the Morning Lord. Is that still true as you wake up this
She would listen.
facsimile of dawn?
Yeah, it's
Or
not like
facsimile of
she's
dawn?
looking for a replacement necessarily. It's more like she's listening for the similarities between the stuff that she does believe and was
Okay.
taught, and picking out, you know, looking for the commonalities.
As your eyes drift over to Madame Ava's tent, you see even the threads are different now. They look more normal, more grays and browns. There was something a bit uncanny about them last night, but it's long gone now. You, Artexia? Sasha. Are you going to be able to travel okay?
I'm all like sad and don't want to freaking answer. I'm like, I don't know. I'm sure I'll be fine, I guess. I don't know. We gotta figure it out. I'm like fed up with all the one thing after another is happening in here.
He nods and looks at you. Looks at your face.
I shy away because it's like embarrassing.
I wish I could make it better. We're going to find someone in Vallaki. I know it. We just have to get there as soon as we can.
Seems like you should be the symbol of hope, not me.
We all have our turn, I think.
Seeing that she's awake, I'll just trot over into that area. I plop down right in front of her. I'm looking at her face for a second. Well, whatever this damage is aside, we gotta do something about the way you look, dude. And Farron pulls out, she has a disguise kit.
Okay.
And she's gonna do what she can to whatever elven features.
Just
I'm
like
used to being
soft.
beautiful as well, so like, yeah.
Soften up the features, dirty her up, keep your hood up at all times.
Yeah.
You know, and do what she can to make
Okay.
her look as unelven as possible.
Per the book, if you start with something, a kit, you have proficiency in that kit.
Indeed.
So, based off of intelligence with proficiency, make a disguise check.
No, you can't see my ears because I have my hood on. Okay, so no,
Oh, great.
we're disguised off.
Just my intelligence modifier.
Intelligence +2 also.
So that'll be 12.
12? All right. You start a basic, and here's what we're going to do, Caitlin, because presumably this is going to be something that you kind of iterate on and chip away at. Keep
My
track.
first pass at your face.
Yeah, it's your first pass. Keep track of the total roll somewhere.
Okay.
And then as we go through sessions and you have a go at it, like after each long rest or something, you can try again. You can try different, okay, let's shade it this way, or let's try the hood worn at this angle or whatever. And then
I'll get really good in a few days, and I'll give you a fake
will.
beard, and you'll be an elven man.
Oh,
It'll
there
be
you
fine.
go. Well, half elven, right?
Right.
Okay.
Am I half elven? Or?
No. You're pure blood.
Okay, yeah,
Elven males generally can't grow facial hair. And your character, I know I've asked you this before. Your character does have ears.
Yes.
Okay, but you typically, because you have long hair, you typically wear.
I wear my hair down to disguise my ears, and they're not as prominent. Like, if you saw them, you'd probably know that she was only half elf.
Half elf.
But
I mean, her hair is like thick like yours, yeah. So if you wore her hair down, you probably couldn't see them. Okay. Ismark kind of compulsively checks over Sasha, looks over at Artexia, just assesses her, and looks at you, and onward. All we can do is put one foot in front of the other, eh?
This is true.
All right, friends, we're not going to be able, most likely, we're not going to be able to, and there's the large fellow who beat you yesterday after a protracted arm wrestling match.
She'll give him like a respectful nod.
Comes trundling over, and he stops, he bows his head. You're going to be tempted tonight, to stop at a windmill. Don't.
Is there a better place to stop?
Yeah, not there. He turns around and makes his way, wanders way out.
Yeah.
Before he gets out of earshot, he'll be like, "Thank you, friend."
Deep, not kind of, as you're behind him, he kind of gives you a little side nod. Okay, that was informative, I suppose.
See windmill, avoid. Very helpful.
So you set off, and you all indeed have had a long rest. Gira, I don't know if you needed anything. Did you action short?
I got my,
you got that short
yeah,
rest.
I'd only spent like one superiority die. Oh, yes, I get my action surge back.
Action surge is back. Yeah, that comes back on a short rest.
Yeah.
Even. So yeah, you're full up. Artexia, you changed out your spells a bit.
Yeah.
So just, and you know what they are now, so I trust you're keeping track of that. All your spell slots are back, wild shapes are back, and the bit of damage that you had taken in the brawl with the wolves is gone, but unfortunately your very soul has been dimmed, so that max hit point total is
Damn soul, what can I
gotta hate it when your soul gets
Queen of the damn.
Durgan, the glory of the morning lord fills you, and you are fully refreshed. And then your native wild magic energies are singing in your veins once more. Finally. Okay. You set off. A somewhat disappointed-looking Nicola watches you go, and she just kind of nods.
I give her a wink on my way out.
Okay. She had.
Leave him hoping as you leave.
If anyone's looking really closely, Farron's hips are moving a little more than they usually move. She walks away.
And I'm going to read a bit of description as you now really... you traveled through them before, but I'm just going to kind of remind you what these little roads... Some of these descriptions are really pretty.
Remind us of our lovely picture.
Of your...
Beautiful setting.
Well, this is for
real estate
exotic real estate.
It's all about location in the area.
It's pretty unforgettable. So as
Is there
you're
a part about the school districts?
as you're traveling,
It's not been until now that I've actually pictured like the sign out in front with yours picture, like
really,
the real picture.
I went there.
Her and Finny,
man.
There's always a couple doing it, so it's gotta be you and Finny.
Or don't they always do like the crossing arm picture?
Yeah.
This is what's greeting you as you're going, and remember, this is Dawn and High Terra is this resplendent thing through pristine air with a perfect basically environment. Whereas here, as you're going down the old Svalich Road, black pools of water stand like dark mirrors in and around the muddy roadway. Giant trees loom on both sides of the road, their branches clawing at the mists. As you're splashing through.
Finny is, for sure.
Well, Finny's jumping.
Oh yeah.
He looks back ever so often, not at you, Garrett, because he knows what your reaction is going to be. But you can tell no role needed. You've had this conversation many times with him. He's looking at the rest of the group and seeing how tolerant they are.
As children do.
It's like a 3-year-old with a new babysitter. Like, you gotta poke at the boundaries and figure out where everything lands. But I do think that Garrett almost has like a game sometimes with him. She turns it into a game because she knows he'll respond to that. But there'll be like some cue for quiet mode. And he'll go into stealth version where he'll go around the puddles or jump over them.
Right.
Oh, we're playing the
But he's
now.
actually listening for. He's not stupid entirely. So he'll listen for stuff. So
Finney's a creature. Finney contains multitudes.
yeah.
So there's a highly effective killer inside of him, and then there's this silliness.
There's Murder Finney. There's
There's
Quiet
Murder Finney, right? There's
Game Finney.
There's Acquisition Finney.
There's
Yeah.
Acquisition Finney.
It's not so long
There's
of a
SEAL
walk.
Team 6 Finney.
There is SEAL Team 6 Finney.
He's just not the leader.
Ever. I mean, you can make him the leader
One
if
of
you
those
want
modes
to.
should have the word Finn or Finny or something in it.
So you walk for about 10 minutes.
6 Finney.
You get back to the road proper. Like I was saying, you see these deep wagon ruts.
We were on the dotted line road. Now we're on
You're-
the solid line.
Yeah, now you're solid line road. Exactly. You can pick up the pace a bit, and without going into excruciating detail, you're now starting a long, winding. I mean, these roads are crazy inefficient. As you're winding, you're at least, I would say you're at least doubling your distance to Valaki as maybe more, versus as the crow flies, so to speak. But like
Because of like altitude gain, or just like they're just windy for no reason?
They're windy, but it looks like you can't really determine for a bit. But as 1 hour turns into 2 hours, turns into 3, you see that you do seem to be wrapping around what looks like some sort of ascending altitude, and come around. You kind of break into like a rocky, not quite mountainous, but like foothills terrain. You wrap around, then you go back into some woods, wrap around there some more, and the road does eventually. It has some kind of method to its madness, where it looks like whoever created this, long forgotten person, or peoples more likely, did the best that they could in terms of working with the natural topography. So for this group, it's about 5.5 hours maybe. It's a slog. You come to another one of those almost identical. It's like the twin of the bridge that you cross, the stone bridge with the arc in it, where you're going over the river Ivlis. You're closer now to the falls, where supposedly the Mad Mage was struck down by Strahd. Go over that, and you're continuing this ascent. So this is not only are you going over these trails, but any of you who aren't used to hard, long overland travel, there are going to be parts where your legs really start barking at you. These are all adventurers, healthy adventurers in the prime, so I'm not going to harass you with constitution checks, but as we would in the home game. But I don't think nobody's con here is like under a 14, I think, in this group. This group's crazy robust.
Yeah, no.
We beefy.
It's because even the NPCs. So you keep going after the bridge. Yeah.
What then?
Fair enough. Okay, so there falls. No, that's there. Okay, so Zer Falls is close enough, so this would be on your, kind of toward your left. You follow the dirt road as it clings to the side of a mountain and ends before an arcing bridge of mold-encrusted stone that spans a natural chasm. Gargoyles cloaked in black moss perched on the corners of the bridge, their frowns weather-worn.
Yeah, that's
On the mountainous side of the bridge, so that would be to y'all's left currently, a waterfall spills into a misty pool nearly 1,000 feet below. The pool feeds a river that meanders into the fog-shrouded pines that blanket the valley, and eventually will meander back down to the Vistani encampment. So the fog is really long-range visibility is terrible here, but it's not so intense right now that it's gonna like impede combat if it comes to that. All right.
you said right now.
Morgathi sighs and is eyeballing these moss-encrusted gargoyles.
I wanna take stock of the quality of the bridge and all the other stuff.
The
See
bridge.
if it's,
The bridge looks a little sketch.
oh yeah. But I want to do an actual assessment.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So the you don't need to roll for this. You have ample time.
You're a dwarf.
I get the feeling people are all having the same thought. Which is like,
Yeah.
do we really have to cross that thing?
No, this bridge does not look well traveled at all. It looks slick and almost slimy. It's cold, not freezing, but cold enough.
It's a trap.
It's a drop.
Yeah, you got it.
It was all playing in all of our brains. I could sense it.
We were watching Star Wars last night, so
So you're making your way.
Power of everyone watching it, saying it out loud.
we know they did.
You're
We
making
hear you.
a million voices
Admiral
crying out,
Artaxia's
all
got it
snuffed
right.
out together.
Admiral Artax.
Admiral Artaxia.
It's a trap.
Do you? Okay, so you're stopping at the threshold of the bridge.
You're checking the bridge out.
Finny-
What's below the bridge?
Finny draws
What's down river. The
his
bridge.
non-silvered sword and starts poking at some of the moss and like, "Hi, I'm Moss," and making the mouth of the moss move as he's moving with the sword, bloop, 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 flapping it up. I think you're really handsome. Oh, well, thank you, Moss. Yes, clearly you're a man of distinction.
Well, at least we know what the moss thinks.
Hey, Finny, ask the moss why it's black.
We don't
Moss,
ask people
why are you
they're
black?
How many times do we have to tell you stop asking things why they're black?
Texie,
You cannot
I
keep doing
asked,
this.
why are you black?
What'd they do? What'd they say?
He has his chin up in the air and pouting, and he just starts walking across the bridge.
He knows nothing.
Oh, you're just going across it. All right. Test subject.
Yeah, guinea pig.
Great. Wonderful, darling. Wonderful. And Morgathi's looking. You see him just a wisp of some different kind of... There's gray, but there's a little blue threaded through it today, so maybe he found a little something in the grimoire.
I was going to ask him if he'd had a chance to read that.
You saw him. It was kind
He's
of...
at least flipping through.
He was kind of off to the side, and at some point in the night, he was intent on it. You're not sure how long or what he found or anything.
I am actively trying to find opportunities for him to like
To study it,
things.
right? Yeah. So he's
I mean, if we had a wagon, I'd just say sit in the wagon and read.
he's looking, and Finny's getting out onto the bridge. You gonna follow, Gira? Ismark looks at you and like, we can't let him go out alone, eh?
Vinny, we need to check the bridge.
I am checking it.
Okay.
Or Texia tricked me.
You're not a good test subject. You weigh like way less than the rest of us.
No, I'm huge.
I feel like something's about to happen to him.
So does it look? The bridge doesn't look like it's about to fall down, does it?
No, the construction actually looks quite sound. It's the
Okay.
slick.
It's
The slick,
slippery
the
and
slime.
There's
on it,
water
the
beneath it,
gargoyles.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
Are there's the little walls on each side, or
I
no?
wouldn't go that far.
Is it like a
It's not
zero safety bridge?
It's not totally stark, but the rail, like, there is basically like a
railings?
stone, like a sort of stone railing. And I actually, you know what, for Finny it's pretty high, but he's not walking, he's just right up the middle. Okay, I'm starting to feel bad. And Ismark instinctively lowers his center of gravity and then,
I'll head across.
okay.
I'm stopping to look at the gargoyles. I'm gonna go up to the closest one and just
Stare
inspect
at
it, look around, see if I recognize
Frozen fury.
Yeah, and Gear's gonna put an arm on Ismark's arm just to kind of stop him. Your weight and my weight and his weight are not the same thing.
You think it's going to trigger some kind of trap or reaction?
Maybe not weight, but he moves faster.
I just don't want the little one to be attacked alone.
I'm
It's more sturdy than you think.
Yeah, you're
He's trundling away.
walking. Okay, you're walking across. You catch up. You catch up with Finny. Finny had slowed down.
Speaking of the whole game thing with Finny, she's going to say whatever it is for, like, be aware of your surroundings game.
I know.
Yeah, he's pouty.
As he's
She's at least gonna say it.
as he's up ahead. Okay, you
So she can say, I told you so later.
Exactly.
you
cover the bases.
that's the
Finny.
important like.
trying not to take it too personal. She's had something happen to her last night. She's just upset.
Well, you're on the bridge with me.
Hey,
We're almost done. Come on, let's get to the other side. I don't care about these dumb gargoyles.
well, I think they're thinking they might have come to life or something. Keep your eye on them, eh?
Gear's gonna turn back to Morgathi, because she knows at least he can do it.
Yeah, he's
Do you not have some way to take a moment and see if there's any other unseen traps?
This
10,
looks pissed to me, so
10, 11 minutes. He's not short stack over there isn't gonna wait that long. You know what? I mean, if they're going to attack, I could just try to provoke them right now instead of waiting until half of us are over there and half of us are over here.
That's smart.
All right. You mutter something under his breath. You see a little bit of that blue energy splash over the gargoyle.
is it the one that I'm standing right in front of?
Yeah, of course.
Crikey, how rude.
Nothing.
I give him a dirty look though.
He grins back at you. All right. It's always safest to be in the middle of the pack. And then he.
Yeah, for once I agree, and I
And then he
scurry
starts
over,
walking.
and I go with Morgathi
Yeah.
across.
Wow. Okay. He looks at you. Desperate times, darling. Desperate times.
Indeed.
So the two of them are essentially in the middle of the party, and Ismark says, "Come on, Gira. Sasha, get ready. Hold on. Actually, go between me and Gira. Hold on to both of us. I don't want you slipping or getting snatched or something."
Yeah, and Gear will go a little slower,
Okay.
intentionally to kind of slow them down, in case it's just slippery.
Come on,
It is.
Artexia, you don't want to end up in the
Are
back.
you the caboose, Artexia?
I'm the caboose. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm dying anyways. Y'all just go. That's fine. I'm like in my head about it.
So we have a
Obviously, I'm
powder
not
at the
dying,
front
but-
and a powder at the back.
Yeah. Powder bookend.
I love it. I know. I love it.
Hey, for once I'm not the one pouting.
Hey!
I got it all out of my system this morning.
You get across, and you continue on unless you want to do something else.
I'm just gonna turn around when we get across. I'm just looking to see if the
Yeah, I'm
gargoyle
not just
looks
like
exactly
one-eyeing
the
the
same or not.
bridge. I feel suspicious of said bridge,
It just feels too easy.
right?
Make an investigation check.
Do I
looking
see,
as well.
am I looking, I want to also look like distance-wise in the tree line of where we're going.
Yes.
16.
We can't see very far though.
You can't, and the road starts to. It goes.
This is a good maybe a good ambush.
This is a good this
Where
actually
are we
is
at?
We're yeah, I was
really
gonna
good ambush
say.
spot.
We're at that bridge now,
So you're
right?
at that bridge, yeah.
Which bridge? The one that's
That one. There.
At the other.
At the dot line and then to that. Yeah.
Thinking
Are
of.
we up here?
No, you're here.
One. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Here. So you've made it
We went through that.
from the
The
camp.
dotted trail and made our way over.
Boop. Yep.
We didn't have to take that big thing around, right? Because we went the other way up the.
No. This is not on the same altitude, so you can't take the dotted line and hit
We
that.
took the dotted line the same way we came up the dotted
Exactly,
line. Went
yeah.
all
You
the way
had to,
back
like-
to the main road and
we
then we
had to
went
go
on the
back.
main
You came
road.
to the camp here. Here's the.
Turned around.
That's where the crossroads. Yeah, you went to the camp,
It was too high.
turned around, and then
elevation.
yeah. So you've gone.
Just I mean, I'd be asking. Yikes! I'm afraid.
Ismark?
Sasha is no.
Sasha is
Sasha, if the map that we have seems to be accurate.
tracking.
Yeah.
Me? Looks at Ismark and Ismark says, "You're the artist in the family."
Just,
Yeah,
does it seem like it's more or less correct?
I think grandfather got it pretty much right, Durgan.
That's good to know.
Even
I still think there'd be a good cause to have more of those.
you're not wrong. I wonder how long it would take me to copy it. I never really thought about that before, to be honest. I kind of thought it was like, I don't know if blasphemous is the right word, but I guess that kind of thing doesn't really matter now, huh?
Well, this was something your grandfather made, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's not blasphemy. It is carrying on the family tradition.
And it would be a great help to those traveling the lands.
I'm not going to be able to do it as well as him.
That's okay. I bet his first map didn't look fantastic.
Everyone starts somewhere.
That's true. Okay. If you want, I can start the night wherever we I hope we do. No whining. Here, let me take your pack. So Big Brother, this actually probably would have happened earlier, but he takes, so now Ismark has the pack.
Actually going uphill.
Yeah, Ismark has the pack on the back, and then he slips it, and he has the pack on the front, and he's kind of he's waddling a bit, but still, yeah. All right, y'all.
Wait, what happened with the gargoyle?
As you look back, the gargoyle looks exactly the same.
Okay.
Yep. With a 16.
Just checking.
No,
With
that's
16. It looks the same.
That's fair.
They're mid Strahd word.
Just trying to having to decide what time sundown would be because you guys are about that far in now.
Is it daylight saving time?
Right. God, don't get me started.
An
Don't,
extra hour.
please. You get you're well into the day now. And you're pretty high up. If you look to your right, which is nominally east. I mean, you're disoriented, but it's nominally east. You can see the tallest spires of Castle Ravenloft are still visible, but you're high up enough, and there's a fat mountain in between the two of you, or these series of stacked hills, that the body of the castle is starting to get more and more difficult, and more of the mountain is blocking it.
I look at it. I look at Kira. It's big enough. But what about the location? It's awful.
Terrible for parties.
And about
Take everyone weeks just to get up there.
not quite 2 hours later, you finally come to what looks like a fork in the road. Even here in the mountains, the forest and the fog are inescapable. Ahead, the dirt road splits in two, widening toward the east, which would be toward Castle Ravenloft. There you see patches of cobblestone, suggesting that the eastern branch was once an important thoroughfare.
Crazy.
And then, parked at the fork of the road, pointed east, is a large black carriage. And it's just chilling there. No horses, no anything.
Gira draws her bow and has an arrow just knocked as they're walking up to it.
Ismark
Gira or Farron?
Oh, yeah, you. I'm telling you what to do. I was like,
Oh, I have a bow.
we're
I just took you over.
Yes, I do,
Why am I
actually.
doing this?
what's happening? I'm
Farron
Gira
possessed
does
Gira's
stop.
body.
Okay. Ismark looks at Farron do that, nods, and he
She does a dead stop.
slides his longsword out.
While they're doing that, I'm like behind them, obviously, right? I reach over and do like a little flame, just enough fire to like toss it and fizzle out as soon as it gets there, so that way if someone was there, they'd be like maybe stick their head up out of the wagon or whatever if they're like laying
Okay.
down it.
Since you provide just a bit more light, and you have your elven eyes, you see the glint of something that's been carefully placed on one of the top of one of the wheel. What's the word I'm looking for? I want to say wheel houses, but that's not correct. Anyway, one of the structures on the wagon that's covering the wheel, and there's a glint of something red and shiny there, small.
Wheel well.
Wheel well. Okay.
Hey, and what? Farron's in front.
Yeah.
Finney's in front.
Finney and Farron have. Finney's by now he's chilled out on the pouting,
Right.
but he still is interested in what to see. So
I'm annoyed by him anyways. I don't talk to him.
Okay.
Farron, hey, there's something on the wheel over there.
you look over now that she points it out.
Come out now, and I won't shoot you in the fucking head.
Oh, diplomatic.
I didn't say I was doing the diplomat thing right now.
Am I going
usually
that
announce
direction? Okay.
We're bluffing.
No response.
All right.
it. I'll walk over to the
I nudge,
shiny object.
I nudge Finney to go with her.
I'm directing Finney to go around quietly to get another look.
He vanishes.
Yeah.
And he's good.
Ismark looks at you, and then, well, I don't want it to go alone. So, he starts walking. He's, a little bit behind you, but ready to rush
Grab
forward.
my back, because she's going to have to put that down a bit to grab whatever is.
Okay. It looks like 2 small ruby earrings in the shape of some sort of bird of prey, and as you're looking at it, you've seen this crest before. It was the seal that was on the letter, again, in the secret room in the library. That Strahd.
Oh, the
It's
scroll
the
that
not
the
the
messenger
windmills.
had.
No.
Okay.
No, it's the house. It's Von Zer. It's
Seeing that, she just lifts the bow back up. Just like, why would these why would these just be sitting here? I don't know about all that. They have the seal, the Strahd seal on them. I don't.
and they're
This is an
placed.
odd place to leave
pretty
jewelry.
sketchy. Yeah.
I'll move forward.
Okay. You come cautiously forward, and
I'm going around towards the front of the wagon.
okay.
Come on, Durgan. This looks suspicious as hell.
It looks like, I mean, there's no way to be certain, but it looks like they were basically placed right where you'd have to walk right
Yeah.
by them.
I
And
do not think none of us need earrings, no?
I mean, they're cute, but
How much do I
Not
think
that
they're
cute.
worth?
these are beautiful. In this impoverished land, because now you've seen enough to know they would be really something.
if they were that important, Durgan, no one would be leaving them on a wagon wheel. So
I think they're just here to add to the amusement.
I had a dream about those last night.
Did you?
Huh?
What about them?
Sasha said that?
Yeah, that sounds like Sasha.
He's looking at them. Yeah. I think they were left here for me. Actually, I'm almost certain.
Sasha, this is a trap. This is just a trick to lure people over to this wagon. They're probably not even real or as valuable as they look.
No, you're right. He looks at his brother, and Ismark kind of glances back and shrugs.
Again, a gift that is not handed over by the person who gives it.
Mm-hmm. But
'Tis a rather suspicious way to give gifts.
he still has the black rose from the
No,
cemetery.
we convinced him to leave it on his father's grave, I think.
Oh yeah,
you're right.
He
You're
left it back there.
You're right.
Hopefully that didn't curse his dad.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Should I? Ismark says, if you want, I can go up here. Don't touch them. I'll just scoot them off with my sword and see.
Be careful. She changes her aim up toward the wagon.
Okay.
Her focus is on the wagon itself.
I'm trying to look in the wagon.
Tell me more about this Dreamus.
Looks empty. I mean, it's very nice. There's the seats look like black leather. There are touches of not quite red, but like a really, really deep purple in there. Bits of embellishment.
Can I look at the tracks around to see how recently this wagon was placed?
Sure. Go ahead and make a survival check for that. Come again, Justin.
Tell me more about this dream of yours.
There was the fog, and there was someone was trying to give them to me. I don't remember that much, but I was, you know how sometimes in dreams you know you're you, and sometimes you know you're someone else? I don't think I was me. I think I was someone else. I know they don't belong to me, but I'm not really sure how to explain it, Durgan. I'm sorry.
It's alright. It's just... I've been looking for something like that since we got here.
Scooping them up with the
rubies.
I've been looking for earrings for yourself?
The earrings, the rubies themselves.
Rubies.
Mark does chuckle a little.
Do you have some sort of spell or incantation that requires such? That makes sense.
12.
You see the tracks. With the 12, you know that this carriage is almost certainly the well-worn ruts that you're seeing going east. You don't see so much to the west, though, or rather kind of northwest, because it's starting to split off again. It looks like this is, if anything, this tends to be a point that this carriage comes to, back and forth, and then maybe some faint tracks back the way you came.
Sasha?
But recent, you're not sure, because it's just been run over too many times.
Are there any tracks for, like, horses that pulled it or something?
Ooh, yeah.
Their feet print of people?
You look like, looks like hooves. With the 12, you're not really sure, like, weight and number and all that, but It looks vaguely equine.
Whoever you were in this dream, did it seem like it was important for you to have them? Or did it feel like they were being pushed on you?
It was kind of like the rose, Durgan. It was beautiful, and I appreciate that it was made for me. That's it. These were made for me. Well, not me.
Your dream you.
Yes, dream me. And I don't know if... I won't say I'm supposed to have them. I left the rose with Father. I hope that was right.
It felt right, did it not?
I think it was right. So, and Ismark is finally, he's got a little frustrated as he tried this clumsy maneuver with picking up earrings off of the stony ground with the longsword, but he finally kind of wrangled him into a pouch.
Okay.
Shrugs, sheathes the sword, takes a step back, still has a shield up, and then presents you with the pouch with the little ruby earrings in it.
I don't have any use for them other than, they're cute and they're probably worth a good amount of coin. But
I'll take them if you don't want to hold them.
yeah, if this is what would work for you.
It's the crest of the von Zedovich house, or whatever that's worth. He hands it over to you.
Just kind of put it in a pack or something. Doesn't really...
Morgathi sighs heavily. For Kistar Lunar's sake, if we're going to sit here, I may as well look and see if those things are cursed. Just open the pouch up.
You want to take the time to do that now?
Well...
Might as well before it's too late, if it's a cursed item.
If you're gonna carry it around, you sleep next to me.
Those things might, and plus those things might be enchanted to track us. So
Kind of look at both.
Oh, yeah.
At both of the brothers. Like, how much farther do we need to go?
Ismark looks at the darkening sky, and he says, "A while yet. I don't think we're going to make it to Vallaki. This was always my worry, but we need to keep going. We're supposed to be hitting a gate of some kind soon. Let's at least get past that. That's the end of the devil's personal domain.
How long do you need to check these?
It says 10, 11 minutes, depending on how well I'm doing.
Let's do it here and
All
now.
right.
If it's
Why
gonna
don't we-
track us.
Why don't we all take a break, get something to drink and eat?
All
Hero
right, then.
wants to check it out.
All right, I'll put
He
them.
starts tracing sigils in the air.
Oh yeah.
Where do you want them? And I'll
Just
put them.
Just right there. This will do, and begins kind of the long, tedious process of collecting the ambient mana instead of using his own strength, teasing that out, and then, right on schedule. Sententia, and nothing. A little surprised. Okay.
I was over at the water. We're by the water still, right?
You are no, you're quite a ways.
Oh, we're
from
quite
it
a
now.
ways away.
Yeah.
Okay, Trippin land. Never mind.
Well, just for everyone's
See some-
knowledge,
some crows flying.
unless they think it's important to hold on to these, I have a good use for them.
What do you have in mind?
To make a light. One that won't go out.
Sasha actually smiles for the first time in a while. I think that is entirely apropos.
You said there was birds that just went over. I'm sorry.
Yeah, some crows.
And shillelagh.
Shillelagh?
Yes.
That you have to hit. You have to hit something though. It's not distance.
It's not distance. I have to hit it.
Yeah.
So even.
It's a,
Okay. So
It's
I
like
couldn't
your stats.
It's a
enchant a
weapon.
rock and then
There are spells that do that, but unfortunately,
Okay, not
that's
shillelagh.
one of them.
All right.
You have to dance.
Do you want to try to flash fire? You could try to flash fry one of the crap. What's the distance on your flame? That's only 30 feet, right?
On my flame.
Pretty sure it's 30 feet.
Thing.
Because they would be farther than 30 feet.
It's only 10 feet. Well, I know it's 30 feet.
It's 30
on
feet,
mine.
yeah. Yeah, if it was if it was one of the spells that was 60 plus, I'd say, you have a shot at it, but
Yeah.
I think they're a little too high.
All right, good.
Okay.
My cantrips don't lie.
Cantrips don't lie. All right.
No, we're just saying it's Shakira's
Shakira's
shillelagh.
No. Right.
We're in our own stupid
Oh, I know. We're
joke
over
land
there.
over here.
Actually, I think I've got sister stream to thank for that joke.
All right, so you're continuing.
Well, while Morgie was doing the spell, Gira was going to check out the inside of the wagon. I don't know if
Are
there
you
was
going-
at
are-
least glancing. I mean, I just did the glance in. I didn't know if there was anything else in there. There was nothing. Okay, then never mind.
Looks
am I sitting like
oddly bare. Comfortable. You could cuddle up in the wagon and
Rest
take a little
your butt.
snooze if you'd like to.
For 10 minutes, sure.
You go in.
It's going to be a completely useless nap, but sure.
Okay, all right. Gira goes into the black carriage, and you're like, yeah, okay, great.
You etch your name in there. Was
It's a
here.
carriage.
Gira
was here.
No, it takes too much time.
You plop
Sleep
down.
first.
It's obnoxiously comfy. You just kind of sink. You kind of sink in, and
Trap.
it would aside from the hue, it would actually fit quite well in High Terra.
Oh,
Probably be enchanted and drive itself, but
probably.
all right. Afterwards, you collect yourselves and move on. And
So I'd like to. I have a feeling that things like that aren't so much traps as much as they are just some sort of a psychological attack.
Just to mess with our heads.
That's exactly right.
I don't know.
They gotta make the game more interesting. There's a reason that they put those things there.
It's probably slowing it down, honestly.
What if, 1 in 4 is an actual trap, you know?
I think it's more like a cat playing with its food.
Farron's
I
right.
just think you'd look really good in those earrings.
It hurts me to say this, but
Would.
Farron, you're right. We need to treat each of these things as its own discrete issue and not assume anything, because it is going to be the 4th or the 5th or the 6th one that's going to blow up in our friggin' faces.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that those sort of things isn't going to happen, but I don't think everything is going to be bringing a trap. That doesn't mean it's not a threat. I think every one of these is a threat.
Everything isn't bad, Morgathy. It's fun. You can have so much fun. All right. Actually, probably by now, honestly, as you're peering through the mist, even from here, even though it's about a quarter mile away, you could probably already see this. But certainly as you get any distance on that northwestern road, I assume you're not headed toward Castle Ravenloft.
No.
Nope. I mean, we could end the adventure sooner.
You could.
Yeah, I'm sick of this game.
The fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road. And actually, you guys are just getting to, you're just getting to the edge of another clump of woods because you've been like in a mountainous patch for a while. Ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road are high stone buttresses, looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. 2 headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence. And I will describe this, and these are huge. My dad was estimating these walls are probably about 80 feet tall, which is like historically absurd.
It's huge.
And even the gates are about 45, 50. I mean, this is massive. And these statues are, again, around 80 feet. And the statues are kind of, it looks like the backs are carved, are still attached to the walls. Like they were carved, they're not fully, it's 3/4 relief. I'm going to go ahead and pass this around so you can see the scale.
Take one down, pass it around.
And
Angels, Pop's got the answers on lock.
Ismark says, well, that's one thing down at least.
That's huge.
We're about to get out of, him breathing down our collective necks.
Collective necks.
That is large.
And you come up on the gates, and kind of seeming to be in a bit of a rush, Ismark. Yeah, how are they opening? Yeah, out. Okay, so he grabs on to part of this just huge gate and starts leaning back slowly.
Oh, there's nobody there to...
Nope.
There's no freaking way he's opening that gate.
They're closed? The iron gates are closed?
They're closed, yeah.
Gear's gonna help him.
Wood, okay. Between both of you latch onto one gate.
Wait. Finny, anything you see before they start yanking that thing open?
I can look.
Probably a good idea.
Starts poking around. Smells like moss.
All right.
Here, this will help us. He takes out a crowbar. The crowbar, and then jams it in just to get a little something going.
Just bends it.
Is there anything to tie a rope onto so that we can kind of help supply some force there?
One of the bars.
A handle or anything to?
Not from there. Not really. You could tie it to the bar, but the gate opens surprisingly easily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not weightless like you do have to
Plastic.
pull it, but it's kind of like how a person can move a frickin' 50-ton bank vault, because it's really well hinged. Yeah. And that's a level of engineering you're a little surprised to find in Barovia, but
Well, especially here, in the middle of nowhere, unattended.
so with steady force, like a grown human could move these.
Okay.
And you open it, I assume, just enough for the group to get
Yeah, we don't need to open
to get
it.
through. You don't have to try to wrangle it all.
Like a 5-foot wide opening.
Okay.
We want to close it.
It feels right to close it.
Let's close it and close the chapter on that crappy area behind us. I don't want to come back here until
You leave your
we're
foot
coming
on
with
the
a
other
purpose.
side.
Yeah, she'll reach for it and start
Pulling it shut, yeah.
pulling it shut behind us.
All right. Darkness is beginning to fall as you get to another offshoot. So there's the main road that kind of continues to curve and do its thing, and then curve and
Deer
do.
is actively looking for a shelter opportunity at this point.
And you see
Gate.
it's dark enough now that it's starting to become difficult to make out shapes from any sort of distance, but looming up, rearing up like some kind of unwelcome gigantic insect, is this not so little windmill.
We not go there.
No.
Did you tell us about that?
About quarter mile.
Yeah.
Okay.
About quarter mile off the road. It's just a quick little 5-minute walk.
Now, what if the guy who told us not to go there was tricking us because we're supposed to go there to get out?
Wait, what did he say?
We have no
Always.
reason to
No,
not
never.
believe it.
Never.
Always never go to the windmill.
Friends, we might have another hour before we have to camp.
Come on, we gotta get far away from this thing.
Let's find a spot to
Push
camp.
for a little bit further.
Not that.
All right. So
I don't suppose they said why.
He didn't seem like a man of many.
He did not explain.
you find
Well, honestly,
to get through 2 more bends in the road.
one of the closest things we've had to a good, warm reception or friendly reception. So at the moment, I'm willing to put my stock in their warning.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
you do continue on.
Okay. We avoid the.
Yeah. All right.
I say in character, apparently.
Yes.
The windmill.
So if there's like a safe-ish,
Clearing.
at least more defensible kind of place before we get, I mean, not like right next to the windmill. What?
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, is it more dangerous to camp or to keep going, to keep moving through the night?
Let's see, the 2 humans are going to have
We just slept, no?
some issues. I mean, you've been traveling. This is a hard day
yeah.
of
Been
travel.
hiking up a mountain.
Yeah.
We need to sleep.
It will be tiring if we keep going.
Ismark
We
says.
do not know how much distance until Valaki.
It just seems like a fair question to ask.
Or do you think we're close enough to push?
I'm asking the people that are from here.
He says it's still going to be a while, hours yet. We should, as long as we cleave to the road, we should get to it, but I don't know. I can see arguments either way.
Look at little Sasha. He's been climbing a mountain all day. I'm gonna let the kids.
He looks miserable, yeah.
Yeah.
He has too much heart to like start moaning and whining about it, but I mean he just looks beaten down.
Yeah, Gara wants to kind of like just explore a little off the road.
Let's get some distance between us and that, and then find a good place to hold up.
Us and the gate that we just walked through, or the windmill we're
Windmill.
approaching? Yeah, before we get any closer to the windmill, that's what I'm arguing
No, I thought
for.
the windmill was off in the distance, off of the trail.
We haven't
It
gotten
was,
to
yeah, it was off in the
off
distance.
the
Yeah, but we're heading in the
no,
general direction.
you've
we
already
have to
passed.
pass it.
We've passed it.
You've already passed the windmill.
Yeah.
Oh, we have?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, let's find a good
Okay.
spot, everyone.
Yeah.
We made good time, apparently.
Here. Yeah, you're like
Apparently.
We saw that windmill.
I
and
thought we
said,
were
"Keep
like,
fucking trucking.
yeah, you're around. You're probably around here.
okay.
Yeah, we should- we
Then,
should keep going.
yeah, I mean, I guess maybe leaning into the
a
right
while.
side of the road where there's some more rocks or something.
You can find that.
Any place where we can find it's defensible.
You can find that. You can
Yeah.
you can find a spot. Yeah, you can find a spot where you pull up a little bit, and you're not directly on the road, and you're like in a small little, I don't want to say cul-de-sac, but you're in a small little
Something, yeah, like
grove.
something where we can defend our backs. Would be nice.
Okay. You make camp. The party makes camp. Then, well, that's a classic. Same watches. I should write this down. But you two are always going to be the end watch.
So, yep.
You're always going to be the beginning watch, and then the elves are going to be in the middle.
Yeah, Gara also wants to set up like the main campfire, but then she's going to take make a couple small campfires at a perimeter, creating a perimeter.
That's
So
smart.
we can see farther. They'll go out at some point,
Well, I can use my lights.
but watches can go and just add
the
another
last
small
watch, so-
log, a little small thing. So
Okay.
we can keep them going.
Okay. You're gonna try to train the second watch to keep those going as well. All right, second watch.
And we'll gather enough firewood before all that.
Kenzie and Morgathy have to have Artexia and Morgathy have to FaceTime then, because it's you and Finny would.
After he did that whole protecting of me, it softened me up the tiniest smidgen.
Yeah.
Like, enough to not get annoyed with everything he says. Well, just most things.
I want to have the group, like, get everyone's take on a true assessment of those earrings and how much the rubies are worth.
Okay.
I'm going to ask everyone's sort of take on this.
As you pass the rubies around, I will have to look and see what the exact value would be, but I'm thinking around 500. I mean, they're really up there.
You know what? Actually, they look really good
They're a
on me.
mastercraft. They're a mastercraft item. So,
Just for everyone's edification, I can do something useful with these, but it means destroying at least one of them.
Miss Gira looks at it and she goes, "These are very nice." And she passes them on to the next person.
Sasha kind of likely shrugs, and
Money has never been the issue, so I think that you should just do whatever you need to with them.
It's not about money, it's more about, do we think that there's some actual purpose for these things? I mean, after hearing what the lady back at camp had to say, I'm wondering if this is something that we're supposed to hand these off or something crazy like that.
And she said we would find the first piece at the wagon, but there was a person at the wagon that she mentioned. There were no people there.
There's more than one wagon, too.
Yeah, she said a colorful wagon, and that wagon was black.
Sad. Comfortable. But sad.
Comfy.
What if they're meant for you?
Evil is very comfortable.
Perhaps hold on to them for a day or two. And if we have not found the purpose, then do as you wish.
I can get behind that.
I like the usefulness of this light that you want to make.
so you're gonna hold on. You're gonna hold on to the earrings for now.
Unless people think it's more important to have the light, yeah.
Okay.
I'll need time to actually put it together because I gotta prepare for it. But yeah, I think it'll be of great value to be able to see at night.
I mean, we all have dark night vision now.
Not all of us.
Only Finny. Or Sasha, I guess.
Sasha smiles and
Yes,
says,
Uh,
I can see in the dark. Yep. Nope.
well then, actually. Should you, if it takes you a long time?
I just need to be prepared for it, meaning come morning.
What do y'all think?
Let's get to Valaki. Take your time.
All right.
Alright.
I look at Morgathy and then all the others. Look at us working like a team.
Oh.
I know you all had it in you.
Oh, of course.
I mimic him and I go, aye.
Okay, first
Gira's just smiling.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
first watch comes and goes. Second watch.
Doll.
She is keeping an extra eye on Artexia to see if she's even like
Gosh.
doing little
Fart all
twitches.
over you. My own magic dog. What?
Second watch. You start to hear footsteps.
Oh, jeez.
Son of a mother flipping.
Who's on second one?
Wait, they're slow? Heavy?
Artexia and
Artexia and
Morgathy.
Morgathy.
They're slow. It's slow and heavy?
Slow and not like ponderous, but
Medium.
like a larger man's. footsteps
Right. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Footsteps.
coming down, and
I grab him and I just get on edge.
all right, he looks over, and you see a figure in a bedraggled cloak, mud-stained, travel-weary, begin to march towards you. And that is where we will pause the tale.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Shit.
Introduced Mystery Man. Halt game.
The end.
The end.
Ooh.
Faraway friends, hopefully this has been an entertaining take on some of the iconic moments of Curse of Strahd. We will see how this goes. Thank you so much for being on this journey with us, and take care as you go out there. Don't get kidnapped by some mists.
Yeah.
Bye.
Don't show your elf ears if you're a woman.
Bye.